The invitation cards sent out to guests for the gala dinner of the G20 carry the name the Republic of Bharat. Does this suggest a move on the part of the Modi government to change the name of this country from India to Bharat? What are the ideological and philosophical underpinnings of such a move? To talk about this, I am joined by one of the most prominent thinkers of India is right, Ideologue of the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh. Gurumurthy ji now joins us live on India Today from Chennai. Gurumurthy ji, namaste and thank you for joining us.
Namaskaram, tell me.
I want to ask you, Gurumurthy ji, about the idea philosophically of wanting to change the name of India officially to Bharat. You're in Chennai, it used to be called Madras. Calcutta before this had its name changed to Kolkata, Bombay to Mumbai. Why do you think this is the right time and the right opportunity for India to be officially renamed only Bharat?
See, India was wrongly named as India. It was originally Bharat. If you take all the 18 Puranas, you take Bhagavata Purana, you take Mahabharata, whether they actually happened or not, they were all written and the entire geography of the country had been described. The people had been described, their culture had been described, and they had been designated as Bharatiyas. It is called Bharatavarsha. So, this name should have been there in the constitution, but it became an alternative name. I don't know for what. For whatever the founders of the constitution felt, they put it. But we have amended the constitution over 100 times for right and wrong reasons. I am not questioning the wisdom of the people who framed the original constitution. Also people who amended it, because this amendment is a contextual necessity. The amendments which took place in 1970s became abhorrent in 1990s. So all this keep happening. But the name Bharat is not a new name. It is in the constitution already. India, that is Bharat. That is, Bharat is the real name. India is the name by which it is known elsewhere in the world. In those days, to bring Bharat and to make it popular would take maybe several years. That is why they probably allowed the word India to continue. They also understood Bharat is the real name. But to make the world understand that India has become, that what is known as India, it will now be known as Bharat. It would have taken several years those days, and that is why probably they allowed the name India to continue.
But at this moment, our country is known as India internationally as well. Article 1 of the Constitution says, India, that is Bharat, shall be a union of states. So Bharat is mentioned as one of the two names of our country. Why is the RSS and the government of the view that we should snap away from the past where India has been called India and now switch entirely to Bharat, which is one of the two names our country already has? Gurumurthy ji.
You see, you will ask the RSS about the view of the RSS. You keep describing as the ideologue of RSS, but RSS doesn't call me its ideologue. You must understand that. And I don't speak for the BJP. The BJP will speak for itself. Sure. What I can say is, whether it is done by the BJP or any other party, this is the right thing to do. And that the BJP happened to do it doesn't make it wrong. If the Congress has done it, I would have welcomed it. After all, the original framers of the constitution did retain the word Bharat because that is the original name. India is the popular name, was the popular name at that time. Today you can make the whole world understand that India will henceforth be known as Bharat in 1 minute. So the things have changed, communications have changed, and Peking became Beijing. It happens. Every country, it comes to realize its own civilizational underpinning and begins to, Madras state became Tamil Nadu. There is nothing wrong about it because it is nearer to people's sentiments. That is how I will look at it. And everything ultimately gets rooted in politics. There is an action and reaction in politics. But I am only interested in seeing whether what is done is right or not, whether the purpose for which it is done is something different according to me.
You
Whether
mentioned the
that is good or
politics
bad,
behind
that will
this
be
move,
debated in
Gurumurthy ji.
politics.
Some of those who are watching at this moment will allege that because the opposition alliance came up with the acronym India I.N.D.I.A, therefore the government, in a reflex reaction to counter the opposition, has come up with this move, because so far there was no public move to try and change the name of the country from India to Bharat. The opposition will suggest because the name that they came up with is India, which is why now the BJP, the RSS, the government and proponents like you think this is a great idea. Before this, it wasn't on the plates. How do you respond to this, Gurumurthy ji?
No, actually, don't include me, club me with it. They may have their own ideas. But I have been of the view for a long time. It has nothing to do with this. One. Number two, that India, this actually, India is a name which the opposition appropriated, because it is only India Alliance. It is not India Alliance. Understand that? They also have begun playing with words. What is the need to have an India Alliance today? India has been there for 75 years. And ruling party and opposition have been there for so long. Because you are using the word India itself is political. So the other party is doing some other political act. It is not that what you are doing is genuine and what others are doing or the BJP is doing is wrong. You look at it from a neutral position. Both are political. Using the word India is also political, and countering it by promoting Bharatiya is also political. What's wrong about it? Both are playing politics.
How do you look at the legal and constitutional dimension of this move, Gurumurthy ji? Because this matter came up in the Supreme Court, where there was a plea to change the name of India to Bharat in June 2020. The Supreme Court at that time rejected it. The argument was that Bharat is the real cultural name, India was the colonial name. There was a Delhi-based petitioner. They went through the motions and the Supreme Court rejected the plea to change the name to Bharat.
Because Supreme Court cannot change the name. Supreme Court said, I cannot change the name. It is only the Parliament which can change the name. The Supreme Court rejected. If the Supreme Court can rewrite the Constitution, possibly it could have done it. It is only the Parliament which can do it. Even the government can't do it.
For those who are watching,
the government can use the word Bharat.
And those who ask, what is the logic and the rationale? What's your answer to them? Why do you think, Gurumurthy ji, this is the time, this is the moment where this name must be changed?
You see, according to me, this name is not a change. This name exists. If, for example, this name did not exist in the Constitution and the government begins using it, then it is changing the name. It is using a name which is in the Constitution. You can ask, why is it using the name now? The word Bharat is there in all the documentation of the government of India. In all the Hindi documentation, the word Bharat is only used. In fact, the Constitution says it is the Hindi Constitution which is the original Constitution. India is only in the English Constitution. So you can't say it is a change. They have decided to use this name. And I don't see anything wrong in it. It is actually the right thing to do it. But because it is being used in the context of the opposition parties taking up the acronym India, that you are using the word Bharat, I can perfectly understand this political conflict. Because you began using the word as a political force, which is part of India. You are making it India. Itself is political. You are wrongly using the word, the nation's name, for a political campaign.
Okay. For a moment,
the BJP is doing the other thing. If you are clever, they are also clever.
For a moment, Gurumurthy ji, I want to pivot to the controversy that we are seeing in Tamil Nadu and elsewhere over the Chief Minister's son, Udayanidhi, hitting out at Sanatan Dharma and asking for Sanatan Dharma to be demolished. We've seen some backpedaling on the part of Udayanidhi, while he's largely stuck to what he said, but he's trying to dial back and to contain the damage. I'm also hearing that this is leading to a massive churn in Tamil Nadu, where questions are being asked about why would the Chief Minister's son make a comment of this and play with the sentiments of others. Do you think this matter has settled, or do you think this could be something that proves to be very costly for the DMK and for Udayanidhi?
See, I don't want to mention the name of the person who made this statement, because this would not have been published if he had not been Chief Minister's son and if he was not born of that family. So, I would say the Chief Minister's son has made this statement, and who happens to be a minister. I tell you this issue, the persons whoever spoke about Sanatana Dharma like this, they do not even know that Karunanidhi had a very different impression about it. Karunanidhi, you see, there were three great Sanatana Dharma acharyas, Shankaracharya, Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya. All three were born in Dravidian land. Point one. Number two, Ramanujacharya's name was specially taken by Karunanidhi, and who wrote his biography, serialized it as a film in his TV, Kalaignar TV, and called him a man who rejected caste. Sanatana Dharma Acharya rejected caste was the conclusion of Karunanidhi. And from the place where Ramanujacharya declared rejection of caste and saying all castes are one, that place is called Tirukoshtiur, the temple. In 2016, Stalin went there and worshipped in the temple, because a Sanatana Dharma Acharya said, from that temple there is no caste. So where is the question of associating Sanatana Dharma and caste? What Karunanidhi knew, what Stalin did, if somebody else in the family doesn't know, then there is something wrong with that person. But one thing I can tell you, Sanatana Dharma is equal to Advaita, Visishtadvaita and Dvaita. Sanatana Dharma is an accepted position in the entire Tamil literature. That is why E.V. Ramaswamy Nayakar said, Tamil literature is a waste. It is a Brahmanic conspiracy. He wanted Tamil literature to be banished. He wanted Tolkappiyam, the oldest Tamil literature, to be banished, and he called it a Brahmin stooge writing it. He called Tirukkural as a human waste kept on a silver plate, and he rejected everything. And these people are holding him as the authorities to say Sanatana Dharma is against caste. I mean, it's a conundrum of the highest order.
No, but the argument that Udayanidhi is seeking to make is that his pushback is not against Sanatan Dharma per se. His pushback is against the rigidities of the caste system prevalent in Hinduism, and that is what he's trying to change, or that is what he's objecting to, which is what he says he hopes to demolish. It's not Sanatan Dharma per se. He says his attack is on the caste system of Hinduism.
You see, I am not interested in answering him, because I must answer someone who has studied something. Sanatana Dharma is the word that was printed in the newspapers. So I am not bothered about what he talked about caste. He said Sanatana Dharma must be banished. It must be rooted out. So my simple answer is that the Sanatana Dharma Acharya was celebrated by the father of Stalin, and the person who spoke like this is the son of Stalin. Why don't you? I don't want to get too much into it, because these people, they do not know anything. Vallalar, whom these people are celebrating, he held to Advaita, and he said very clearly that all these idols we are worshipping are only temporary, and to look beyond the idols is Advaita, and we are looking at the idols only to understand Advaita. Do these people know it? Do you mean to say we can have a dialogue with these people?
Gurumurthy ji, thank you for joining us on India Today and sharing your thoughts about why you think the name of India should formally be changed to Bharat, and what you think is wrong with Udayanidi's comments on the Sanatan Dharma. Thank you very much, Gurumurthy ji, for joining us on India Today. Thank you.
Not name should be changed. Not the name should be changed. It is there.
Thank you, sir.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.